Hello and welcome to my review of the Lumineth Realm-Lords, the Light of Eltharion for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, this is my very first review for the Lumineth Realm-Lords. I only technically have one other army, and that's Slaves to Darkness. So I was looking for an army to tick the Age of Sigmar order box, and it was either this one or Daughters of Cain. And these are new, and I really like the look of them. And what army personifies sort of order and ethereal light more than Lumineth Realm-Lords? Okay, so onto the model itself then. You can't currently purchase Eltharion separately. You can only get him in the Lumineth Realm-Lords army box set behind you, a little bit like what Games Workshop did with the Sisters of Battle army set. However, unlike that box set where you can only get those miniatures in that set, they're unique to it, this set essentially contains a start collecting set within it. I would hazard a guess that when they release him separately, he's probably going to be about £30. If they sell him for 25, that's pretty good. He's got quite a big scenic base there, and he's absolutely lovely model to put together, and to kind of see how this vacant, empty suit of armour actually is built. And we're going to have a look at his detail in a moment. Undoubtedly he's going to be available separately along with the Wardens and the Sunriders at some point. So let's have a look at him straight away. Very straightforward model to put together. We just zoom into the detail. As you can see, it's kind of like a suit of armor, but with nothing in it. Look, there's a gap there with the leg, and another gap there, gap where the arm would normally be, nothing in that helm, nothing there with the arm as well. Just incredible how they've managed to pull it off, a suit of armor with you know, with no kind of body. You know, it's yeah, fantastic bit of design there. And really a quite imposing, intimidating mini. I think the scenic base adds to that because it gives him an extra inch, I guess. And that helmet, wow, fantastic, right? Beautiful sun weapons there. He's got this dagger and this nice sword. The armor is beautiful. You've got these little crops or wheat. You've got some detail on the scenic base on the stonework and gemstones, and the actual pebbles or pebblets, as I've recently discovered that word, pebblets, all dot the scenic base all around there, and look fantastic. Really bring it to life, and yeah, I can't wait to put some nice basing on there and do him justice. But yeah, the helmet is beautiful, adorned by these gemstone things, and you've got some scales in places. The sheath for the sword looks fantastic. Yeah, truly epic model, and yeah, just very striking model. I'm not sure whether it's as striking as the Chaos Lord on the Karkadrak, but I'll go through a size comparison with him in a moment. But yeah, nice to have this kind of special character leader. Now, in the Realm-Lords Codex, there are, I guess, two other leaders that you could use in your normal army, but it's so amazing to have this very potent but, you know, expensive leader as your main guy. You can have this stone mage and also this kind of priestess type model as well, and they're the other two leaders. You know, Lumineth Realm-Lords are heavily focused on the magic side of things. So to have a model that has these swords is just amazing. Okay, so that's a little look at the detail and things. Well, there are no spare parts. What you see is what you get. That is just the model. He's bigger than I thought he would be. But let's go through some size comparisons then. So we'll just drop down a level and show you him next to the other models. I built all the other models. It took me a little bit longer than I thought because there were, yeah, a load of mold lines and things just on the all the normal wardens and things, but here he is next to your normal warden. The thing that threw me about these was the spears, really long spears, or pikes if you want to call them pikes, probably actually pikes, but yeah, fantastic. Look at these, crazy. So he is going to stand up, you know, much bigger than your regular kind of troops, and that is mainly because of that scenic base though. Next to one of the Dawn Riders, he is actually a little bit taller than a Dawn Rider. It surprised me, again, because of the scenic base, but as you can see, he's almost head level because of that stonework that he's resting on. So definitely gives him a load of presence. I love characters that are, you know, larger because of their bases, gives them a nice feel. But let's compare him to some other models that aren't anything to do with Realm Lords, such as Chaos. So I've got a normal sort of Chaos Warrior there, or Champion, so he's definitely bigger than one of those. Next to one of the Chaos Knights, he's, yeah, pretty big compared to one of those. And then finally the Karkadrak. Now unfortunately the Karkadrak, or fortunately the Karkadrak does make him a bit smaller because it's a beast of a model. And I don't know, which model do you prefer? I think the Karkadrak is absolutely amazing model, such a good model to have in the old Start Collecting set. But I like both of them. They're both really cool and excellent HQ choices, or leader choices, should I say. So there you go. There's the size comparisons with the Age of Sigmar. I'll throw in some 40k size comparisons because I always like to do that, because you know, everyone knows how big a Space Marine is, or do they? I mean, the sizes changes daily, it seems. But yeah, much bigger than Space Marine, much bigger than Primaris, and yeah, way bigger than Slime Arbo, but again, that's because of the scenic base. I still think he would be taller than the Primaris if he wasn't on that base because of the high helmet, but there you go. Hope those size comparisons have helped. If there are any other Age of Sigmar models you'd like me to draw some size comparisons with, please do, just put it in the comments below. I'll do my best. Okay, and now you're on to my part of the review where I will go through all of his rules. I'll do a couple of comparisons with him compared to you know, the Chaos Lord, I guess. But essentially he is a leader model, and for pitched battle play he will set you back 220 points, which is double the price of a normal Chaos Lord, but 30 points cheaper than that Chaos Lord on Karkadrak, just to put it in perspective. But the Chaos Lord doesn't have nearly as many abilities, and the stat line just isn't as good. And the comparing him to the Karkadrak, which does cost more points, he is slower, he has less wounds, his save is the same, and his bravery is better. The Lord does have more attack, but for Eltharion it's easier to hit with those attacks, and they do considerably more damage, especially in the rend characteristic, and potentially with the damage characteristic as well. He also has one extra ability, but again has one command ability, the same as the Chaos Lord has. So what do you get for these 220 pitched battle points then? Well, his movement is 6 inches, he's got 7 wounds, his save is 3+, and his bravery is 10. That's amazing. Saves of 3+ are very rare, and he joins a very specialised group of only 3 in the army that has a save of 3+, that being the leaders and behemoths, the Alarith and the Avelanor. 3+ saves are pretty rare, so it's great that he's got that, and his bravery also matches that of Teclis. So what's he equipped with? Light of Eltharion is a named character that is a single model. He is armed with the Fang Sword of Eltharion and the Selenari Blade, and he wears spirit armour. So what do these weapons do? Well, the Fang Sword of Eltharion, it's a range 1 inch, 4 attacks, 2+ to hit, 3+ to wound, rend is -3, and a damage of D3. That's very strong there, especially with that 2+ to hit with those 4 attacks. The Selenari Blade is again a range of 1 inch. It's 2 attacks, 2+ to hit, 3+ to wound, rend -1, and damage of D3. So it's 2 very strong weapons there. It's just the Fang Sword has more attacks and a better rend. Abilities. Selenari Blade. At the start of the combat phase, you can pick one enemy hero within 3 inches of this model. If you do so, add 1 to the damage inflicted by successful attacks made with this model's Selenari blade that target that hero in the phase. That's fantastic. So you get a damage of, say, 3 on the D3 with the blade. You're going to be getting a damage of 4. Fang Sword of Eltharion. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with this model's Fang Sword of Eltharion if this model made a charge move in the same turn. In addition, if the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with this model's Fang Sword of Eltharion is 6, that attack inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. Amazing. So his wound is 3+ anyway, but you're able to add an extra 1 there, and on 6s you're getting those mortal wounds. Amazing. So you really want to get him in combat and charging. Searing Darts of Light. In your shooting phase, you can pick one enemy unit within 18 inches of this model that is visible to them and roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to 4, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 5+, that unit suffers D6 mortal wounds. That is amazing. So he's got an effective range there of 24 inches. You know, he can move 6 inches, then in the shooting phase, he can let rip with those darts of light, where you're not causing any damage on a 1, but everything else you are, and they're mortal wounds nonetheless. Spirit Armour. Ignore modifiers, positive or negative, when making save rolls for attacks that target this model. In addition, halve the damage inflicted by attacks made with missile weapons or melee weapons that target this model, rounding up. That's amazing again. This guy is just incredible. So you're ignoring the modifiers and you're halving the damage of missile weapons. Supreme Swordmaster. Ignore negative modifiers when making hit rolls for attacks made by this model. In addition, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by this model is 6, that attack scores 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Make a wound and save roll for each hit. Oh my god. This guy is just incredible. He's got this shooting attack. He's just a killer in close combat. You know, his save is 3+. You're ignoring the modifiers. He's just a tank, an absolute tank. And then finally, the command ability called Unflinching Valor. You can use this command ability at the start of the Battle Shock phase. If you do so, pick one friendly model with this command ability. Until the end of that phase, all friendly Lumineth Realm-Lords units wholly within 24 inches of that model are treated as having a bravery characteristic of 10. Amazing. So, yep. Bravery 10 within 24 inches. That is a very useful ability, especially as typically your bravery for your sentinels and wardens is only a 6 anyway, and most of your other units are a 7. Keywords: Order, Elf, Lumineth Realm-Lords, Hero, Light of Eltharion. So there you go. What an absolute beast rules-wise. Is he overpowered? I don't know. He's definitely a must. He's expensive. You know, what you're getting is you're not getting a steed or a mount with him. So he's expensive just for kind of like say, you know, an infantry. So you're missing out on the, you know, 14-inch movement speed that your Dawn Riders have, or the movement speed that some of the other mounts and models have in the game. So he's trudging along at 6 inches, but still, once you get him into close combat and you get him into the thick of it, he's going to do an awful lot of damage. Definitely go after your enemies' hero models and high value targets, really. So there you go. That's the end of my review. What do you guys think of the model? I think it's absolutely fantastic. Definitely met my expectations. And what do you think of the rules? I wasn't even aware of the rules until I read the new battle tome. They just raised my appreciation of the unit even more. Put your comments and things down below as always. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Techless Protects.